Hey everyone, g'day, it's Douglas here, Doug Charles, and we've had a few inquiries from some ETAs that are wearing wigs and so forth, and they've asked me, you know, how to put the wigs on, and rather than going through it every single time, because it's moderately involved to get it right if you want the wig to stay on, particularly for an extended period of time, or if you sweat a lot, those types of things. So I can only give you advice on this type of haircut. Obviously there are guys out there that if they've got a lot of hair, they kind of put it in a head cap or fold it up and do what they do. But I'm going to talk to you about this kind of hair and what we need to do with it. So the wig that we use is made by Mick and Lindsay Freestone from the UK, Universal Hair Studios, I believe they are. You can find them on Facebook. And they make a very good wig. We've got our second wig. So the first wig we were kind of a bit rough with because we didn't understand really wigs, and we kind of smashed that one up a little bit earlier than perhaps we should have. So this new wig is really good, but the thing about wigs is treat them with kid gloves. Do not be ripping tape off and you'll wreck the wig. So treat it really, really delicately. It's the most delicate piece of equipment or stage wear that you will own. So treat your wigs, you know, with respect. So I'm going to have a look at this. This is my wig here, and a good tip with your wig is to it does fit, it's not really big. So a good tip with your wig is to make sure that you kind of pre-style it sort of before you kind of get it ready. All right, now again, wigs are interesting things. You try not to use brushes on them, use combs on them, and start with a large tooth comb, and as you sort of start combing it through, all right, you've got it kind of looking really nice. All right, and then go to a finer tooth comb, you know, and again, just kind of get it looking really, really nice, especially at the back. Now, on my wigs at the back, I always ask Mick to make the wigs much longer. Normally the wig will fit about there. I don't like that, just in case we have some hair loss or something. I've got extra hair there, and it just covers it, and it sits inside the collar of the jumpsuit, so it sits quite well in there. So that's kind of where we are with our wigs. Now let me show you, because the next bit's very important. There's little kind of pins that we can just pull out. All right, stick them in his face. There we go. And I'm just gently going to take the wig off, and I need to show you what we've done in preparation with the wig, because this is really important. We have put inside the wig some tape. Now we've used, I'll show you in a moment, the tape round the crown, round the front of the wig, so the tape goes around here. Okay, and you can see there's a little bit of tape on the part of the wig that comes down there. So we've taped it all the way through. I tend to use a thinner tape at the top, because we do glue that to the head, and then underneath and on the back here, there's a little bit of tape. Now, when you get the wig, you know, you may need to cut the lace yourself, but leave about 1 inch or so lace at the back so that you can put the tape on, and then that will sit underneath the hair and you won't see it. Okay, so that's a good trick. So the tapes that we use, these are shaped tapes, and we use this one here. All right. We do use also a no shine one, which is really good at the very front. So when you're putting stuff on, it doesn't look like there's any tape on there, because I like my wigs to look really natural. And then finally, we use what we like as the Walker wig tapes. And again, these are all shaped to go around the front of the head. And you can see these ones have little cuts in them, which you can just kind of cut. And this is what I tend to do. I use the cuts, and I will just use, here we go, half of that on the inside of the wig. So I'll put it right on the lip of the inside of the wig there, so that when I put it on my head, it's all fitting in there. All right. Now, there's a couple of other things that we use, which is really important. I use a wig glue. All right, you can see that there, a wig glue, Walker's wig glue. Now, all of this stuff you can buy really well priced on AliExpress. Don't buy the big bottles of the wig glue, because the big bottles of the wig glue kind of go off and it gets really gloopy and messy and all kinds of things. So I'm going to show you how to apply that. And very important, this is like super important, I use isopropyl alcohol just to clean the glue off the wig and gently clean the wig and my head. All right, because we've got to make sure that the head's really clean. So as we start now, we'll start preparing the head for my head for the wig. I spray onto these little cotton discs and I really just clean. Now we've just jumped out of the shower and had a good wash up there on my head, but we want to make sure that there's no oils on the skin. All right, so you're going to go right down and we want to make sure that everything is really clean. Now that's pure isopropyl alcohol. All right, and then I put a little bit on the back of the head there, because we're going to put some glue here. So again, we just do all of this. All right, and that should get you organized. So now we just wait for that to dry. So we remove all the tape. So we end up with a wig with all the tape exposed. Now, took me a bit of time to get this right. So I'm gonna try and show you from the side. You wanna kind of get your wig kind of placed here. Make sure there's no hair. And then kind of flick it back. There we go. And we want to just stick that down a little bit. We're not even anywhere near close to getting the job done. So, but you want to kind of position it pretty much where you want it to look. All right, so you kind of stretch it down a little bit and make sure it's kind of in there. All right, I think that's about where I think I need it. All right, so again, we just get the brush back a little bit. Now I'm going to show you a couple of good tricks, because you've got to glue this stuff down. This is really important now. That's the trick now, is you've got to glue it. And you need a comb to comb through everything. So give me a sec. All right. So we use a bunch of crocodile clips to keep the hair back. So you want to keep the hair off that glue line. You want to expose all of that. All right. So use a bunch of them. Okay. Now, this is where the fun starts. You need to get yourself to apply the glue a flat, there we go, couple of flat artist paintbrushes. You can buy them cheap enough in the cheap shop. You can reuse them, but you've got to clean them after every go, which of course is quite okay. All right, this glue comes with an absolutely useless brush. So kind of get the glue It's as sticky as anything, this stuff. All right, now get the glue, stick it in, and you're going to paint underneath onto that tape. Right, now this is why we use the glue. So I'm just going to look in the mirror here. I'm just going to turn this around a little bit as I'm doing it in the mirror. So you just want to, you have so much more control with a brush. With that little brush that they give you in the pot, it's absolutely useless. But you have infinite control with a long armed brush. So you want to go right into there. Can you see that? And then kind of be careful not to get this on the hair. If you get it on the hair, it's a pain to get off. This is what you're trying to do. You're just trying to paint it on. Now, in addition to that, I would paint your head a little bit. Be really careful not to sort of get much glue on any of that. Now, the trick with this is that don't glue the sides yet, just do the front. Get your hairdryer. Get your hairdryer here and just now you want to kind of dry that glue a little bit, and then I'm going to just turn it around a little bit, and then you just want to gently put it down. Now, so what you can do is use the brush and kind of just dab it down like that. Can you see that? You want to kind of, you want to get that in there. Right, try not to use fingers where possible. All right, now you may have some little hairs that are caught in there. So you want to just kind of gently pry those out. Now you need to use one of these combs. Everything's gentle, because what you don't want to do is wreck that hair. If you've got a little bit of glue on it, we can deal with that afterwards. But you want to just pull that so you don't have any hair along that line, because that looks unnatural. Just be gentle. Just be gentle. Try and nurture it out. Now, get another one of your cotton things. Spray it again, both sides, and just get those wisps of hair and just run them through with the alcohol. There we go. You want to just get rid of any of that glue that was on there. Don't get the swab onto the lace, because it'll stop it from sticking. You just want to grab a few of those hairs that were there. You'll feel if they got a little bit of glue on them, and you just literally want to just clean them. All right, that'll look good in a minute. Now we got the sides. Now we're gonna just kind of glue into there, glue up into there. There we go. Get that glue right in on the side, and then just glue a little bit onto your head as well, and around that hair area. All right, you want that just to kind of get in there and stick. Okay, and that will dry in a second. And then we do exactly the same on the opposite side. Really nice and wet. again, just lift it up, paint it on. Right, make sure the glue's there. Underneath here a little bit. And then paint onto the skin a little bit there. The alcohol, and literally just work away to clean that. Here's the thing, if you get kind of lazy by doing that and you just throw the hair out and cut it off, and you'll end up with a wig that gets ruined really quickly, because you know, you end up losing a lot of hair. So just take your time and really clean those hairs. You see some glue in there. I don't want to see that glue in there, so I just want to clean that out. All right, there we go. That should do now. I think that's gonna pretty much hold it. All right, just give it another blast with the hairdryer. I'm not interested at this point about doing the style. We just want to kind of get it neat and looking as we kind of want it, because we've got to put the makeup on in a minute. It's very rare that we'll use a brush. We might use a brush right at the very end, but you know, brushes really don't work that well. Combs just make everything look really nice. No doubt you will have glue on your hands. Wash your hands. The best way to wash your hands is just spray them with that. Get all the glue off, because you don't want to be touching that with makeup. This whole process takes, with wig and makeup, takes about an hour to do properly. Right, makeup. This one fills in the cracks around here, or the crow's feet. This one puts a nice, beautiful foundation on your skin to put the foundation over. So put that on there, just around all that area, let it soak in. There you go, looking good already. All right, so that's the first bit, done that. Now we put on our silky pre-foundation stuff, that's what I call it. I don't know what it's called, it's white, looks like that. Kind of put it on everywhere. This feels really nice, but it feels like you just, when you put your makeup on, your foundation, it just slides straight on. Get a fix-it stick. Get an orange fix-it stick. All right, it's got to be orange. This one is Pro Fix-It, bought that from Chemist Warehouse. And you just put it where the black is underneath. There's plenty of tutorials online about this, right? Plenty of black underneath. See that? Gets rid of those dark bag circles around your eyes. That's the shadow that it's forming. This is our Motives Liquid Powder Foundation. My colour. Make sure you put it in all under your eyes and everywhere. We'll fix everything up in a minute. Alright, so that's not looking too bad. Might just do another little bit of that orange here. Just hit this with a bit of a brush. Okay, now we've got a contour. So there's a number of different ways. I'm no expert in contouring, but kind of contour those cheeks a little bit. I'll just dab a little bit on. This is Drewy and Daring bronzer, Chemist Warehouse. You know, I tend to buy everything from Chemist Warehouse because cheap, works well. we're going to put some highlighter on, or something to cover those other bits. So we use, what do we use? Instant Erase Concealer. Brightens, corrects. There we go. Got to wind this one up. And just, you kind of want to highlight your nose a little bit. Go up there. That's not looking too bad. Me being a bloke, I couldn't see the value in $12 for a stick. So I went on AliExpress, found some eyeliners, and I bought 12 for $10 with shipping or something like that. I thought that was a much better buy. They work really well. You know, just give them a bit of a, use a pencil sharpener, you know. Buy one of those online. Get a nice little point, and then just do your eyes. Now, for Elvis, you kind of just do that in there. Just a quarter of the eye, or half the bottom. All right, now I'll do the eyebrows. I have to look away for this because I've got to. So we use these really good cotton tips. One's flat end, the other one's a pointy end. So with the flat end, you can literally just get those eyebrows in there, and then just give it a bit of a turn as you come round. Give this one just a little bit more black. That's nice. Okay, now, that's the flat part. We want to use this bit. It's a little bit of blue eyeshadow, so I kind of get a bit of this. Kind of put it on there. And then just do over here. I've got to see in the mirror, but you'll get the idea of it. There you go. Just gives it a little bit of a blue tinge. And on stage, it'll make brown eyes look a little bit blue. It's looking good. All right, happy with that. So we're almost there. So what's left is we've got to style it, but we've got to get these, you know, got to get these chops working now. All right, so now this is the best thing that I found. Mascara. I don't dye mine because obviously it'll look weird with black sideburns that have been dyed and no hair, right? So we use the Big Bad Lash. There we go, Big Bad Lash from Chemist Warehouse. It's a Revlon product, but Chemist Warehouse often will have this on sale for 25%, for 50% off. So you can buy it for 12 bucks. Normally it's 25 bucks. So you just get it, and we're literally gonna black up these sides. Now you've got to shape them a little bit. There you go. So these are the Aloha style sideburns. They kind of go out and down. They don't come down. That's more 1977. The ones that kind of bush out like that, as you can see my finger bushing out, that's the 77, that's the 73, 71, 73 look. Now, just so you know, Elvis did have different kind of sideburns either side of his face, so they weren't kind of all similar. They weren't identical, I should say. Bit of overspill, so just get a little bit of alcohol, kind of tighten that up a little bit. Looks nice. Okay, so that's good. So that works. Now, how I set this is with some Seedle hairspray. Now, I only use Seedle because it's really good for wigs. It's gentle, but it brushes out really easily. So I use the pink one, but with my sideys, kind of give them a bit of a spray. And that'll just stop when they dry, the mascara coming off on your jumpsuit. Almost there. I'm really fussy at this point now. Sometimes I'll bring a little bit of hair just down a little bit, cover that wig area. And this one, you know, this can take a bit of time to do this, get this right. Yeah, I'm starting to like that. Alright, make sure I can't see any glue or anything like that. That's all kind of getting covered up. That's not looking too bad. I think it's almost ready for stage. So we need to hairspray it. Kind of spray it a couple of times. One last thing, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to fix your makeup. So you want to kind of fix that. What I mean by fix it stays. So we got a multitasker. That's the same. They're both the same products, right? So I bought this one, which is good, and Vivian, my wife, likes this one. So we're just going to spray it on. It'll set your makeup. So just kind of lift your hair up. So it's what they call a setting spray. Rub it on. It's really good if you're kind of doing stuff all day, or you're putting your makeup on earlier in the day before the show, and you got to set up some gear like we have to, and you still want it looking reasonable. A little bit more hairspray. Okay, I'll show you one last thing, because you want to take this all off at the end of the night, right? So you can use some soap, but I bought this from Aldi's, $3. It's a foaming remover with micellar water. So it just foams, just stick it on, put it all over your face, your makeup will come off in a flash. All right, so if you do that, you'll get rid of all that makeup, everything will just wash off, and it'll make your face feel sort of nice and won't age it or any of those things. I'm just washing my hands. Okay, so thank you very much. Tell me what you think. All right, that's how to put the wig on, how to do the makeup, and that's 49 minutes of your life you're never going to get back, but hopefully it was of some use for you. All right, speak to you soon. Thank you.